Okay. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's panel discussion on the topic Freshers know AI, but are they workplace ready? A quick introduction to our distinguished panelists and the moderator. Our moderator for today's session is Mr. Shrikant Jadhav, Head of Talent Development, Leadership and Culture at EPAM Systems. A seasoned talent and leadership development professional with extensive experience in building high performance cultures, leadership capability, and organizational effectiveness. Mr. Shrikant brings in strong people development lens to the discussion and will guide the conversation on what organizations expect from the next generation of talent. Welcome, Mr. Shrikant.
Thanks, Patel.
And our first panelist for today is Ms. Padma Shenoy, a Geo Lead Talent Acquisition at Infosys. With over 26 years of experience in talent acquisition and workplace planning, Ms. Padma has witnessed the evolution of talent needs across industries and brings deep insights into hiring trends, employability, and workplace readiness. Welcome, Ms. Padma. Our
Sure.
next panelist for today's session is Mr. Prithvish Pathak, AVP and Head Learning and Development at Alchemy Laboratories, a respected L&D leader with extensive experience in capability building, leadership development, and workplace transformation. Mr. Prithvish brings valuable perspectives on learning agility, performance, and career success. Welcome, Mr. Prithvish.
Thank you.
And next panelist is Mr. Lakshmikant Mukherjee, a lead learning strategy and talent transformation, BFIL, a subsidiary of IndusInd Bank, an accomplished learning and talent transformation leader focused on building future-ready capabilities, driving organizational learning, and preparing talent for evolving business needs. Welcome, Mr. Lakshmi.
Thank you so much.
And next panelist is Mr. Rudramurthy P., Head Learning and Development at Desi Crew Solutions Private Limited, a passionate capability building leader with deep experience in workplace development, learning interventions, and creating opportunities for talent growth. Mr. Rudramurthy brings practical insights into developing workplace ready professionals at scales. Welcome, Mr. Rudramurthy.
Hey, thanks, Mr. Patel, and hi everyone. Thank you.
And our final panelist for today's session is Ms. Diya Kuttappa, Global Leader Learning at Blue Yonder, a global learning leader with extensive experience in talent development, leadership capability, and enterprise learning strategy. Ms. Diya brings a unique perspective on the future of learning, global workforce expectations, and building skills for tomorrow's workplace. Welcome, Ms. Diya.
Thank you so much.
So together, they bring decades of experience across talent acquisition, learning and development, leadership development, and talent transformation and workforce. So with this, I would like to hand it over to Mr. Shrikant to take the session forward.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Patil, and good afternoon, all the panel members, for the for the time that you have given, and we are going to definitely have a very good conversations around where we learn and unlearn some of your insights for sure. So freshers know AI, but are they workforce ready? I think this is one of the most fascinating crossroads in the entire corporate history with the emerging of AI. One hand, we are saying that the graduates entering the workforce who are technically AI natives, the Gen Z that we are looking around, I would say they don't use technology, they breathe it. Right? Even our Deloitte surveys, Gen Z survey also says that Gen Z has utilization of AI has been increased to 74%, where it was 57% in the last year. Now, here is the ultimate paradox, I would say. Does tech fluency equal workforce readiness? And I see this. I see Padma also is on the call as one of our panelists, and she can sense that 91% of recruiters see a massive disconnect between college curriculum and corporate needs. And even if we ask most of our freshers out of 10, I think six freshers or graduates will say that we are fully prepared to take up the corporate ladder. So there are a lot of questions which brings onto the table, but I just wanted to make it short by just giving a little more context in terms of our expectations. Are we really expecting too much from these graduates? Are we are thinking that graduates are arriving underprepared for the human realities of corporate life? How do we teach focus in the era of TikTok attention spans? And if AI writes the first draft, what is the employee actually responsible for? So there are a lot of such questions which are coming onto the table, but we will definitely drive into the major areas of the discussion around, and we have our because we have our amazing exceptional panel of leaders here lined up by Skill Me team. So I would divide all these questions into five segments. So I would like to start with first segment, which is called as a reality check. So I will put the questions across each panel member, and if anyone would like to share their insights, they can happily do that. So the first question I would ask Divya Kutappa, who is the global director for learning from the Blue Yonder. So, Divya, I think if you look at the fresh graduates today, we see an interesting paradox. They are most, I would say, a tech savvy and confident generation to enter the workforce. And but when you look at the corporate readiness, the gap still persists. So I would say that looking at both sides of the coin, what impresses you most about fresh graduates, and at the same time, what disappoints you the most? So this is something that I would like to start, and I also have a follow-up question for you. But let us discuss this and then move to the next follow-up question.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Shrikant. I'd like to answer. Firstly, my name is Dia. I think the introduction was really great. Thank you so much, Skillme, for giving me this opportunity. When I look at the question that comes in forward to me, what impresses me most today's in the graduates that come out is one of the most important thing is adaptability and confidence. When I look at myself, maybe 15, 20 years ago, was I that adaptable or was I just doing what I was told to do? I have many interns and apprentices in my organization that we've hired, this year, the year before that. And I feel that one of the biggest things that they come with is they're tech savvy, they learn quickly, they embrace new technologies, and they have AI with ease. And one of the other things that also I would like to say is people on my team, the apprentices on my team, I see them collaborate a lot, seeking purpose in what they do. Now, did I know that many years ago? I don't think so. That's one thing that impresses me a lot. I wouldn't like to say that I'm sometimes disappointed by the way organizations and leaders want our graduates who come out of colleges to be. But one of the things is the organizations and leaders want people to be workforce ready. Now, foundations like our colleges will help give our apprentices and internship the knowledge that they have. But it is up to us to actually help them, to groom them to have stakeholder management, problem solving, conflict management. How do I actually take accountability and ownership of what I'm doing? So, with this, I would like to say that the most successful graduates today, if I have to look at the last 5 years that I've had conversations with tier one, tier two, tier three colleges, one of the most important things is that these graduates who view their degrees as just a starting point and not the finish line. So when you think that way, your learning is continuous. Equally, organizations need to also invest in maybe onboarding them well, creating onboarding pathways and journeys, helping them understand career development plans, coaching and capability building within their different departments. Are their managers really having conversations with them, setting the right expectations to be fully prepared to become the professional that they want to become or see themselves in the next 5 to 7 years? I think that's most important. And this is what I feel about the answer, Shrikant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tia. That's interesting. When you said adaptability and confidence, there's something that
Yeah,
triggers me because I'm completely like, for example, if I'm a fresher, I am completely adaptable and also confident in my skill sets. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, for me, as a career fog that comes into the picture when I'm looking out the career. So, what do you think? Ultimately, who is the fault for this gap? Is it the organization expecting too much, or has a higher personnel who is not adaptable or completely confident in my skills?
I would like to break that. Fault is not the word I would like to use because I'm new to the system. The organization is expecting too much for me. If I'm able to learn how to learn and get my way through this, I think that is key for me today. I don't think there's anything fault of the organization of the thing. Of course, as an organization, I need to meet my goals. And of course, as a graduate, I have some expectations when I come onto the job that I'm going to be doing. I think it's to look at it in a more growth mindset, forward thinking, futuristic way in how I want to build the capability within my apprentices and internship to always remember when they come, set them up for success. It's only with the power of meaningful conversations can we really help our interns and also help the organization meet its goals. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Tia. Any of the panel member would like to add any statements to the us?
No, I think I'll go for it, right? So, what impresses the best, right? I would say they know what they want. That's something very impressive about this whole crowd. We all talk about being clear, being
Mm.
focused, and all of that. But unless you know what you want, maybe the tools, maybe the concepts, and everything. So, that's something very impressive about them, and that's also something that pushes them for that extra mile that we always talk about in corporate. So that's a very impressive thing. But I'm going to hold back what does not impress me or what is not great about them at this point. Maybe as we unfold a bit more, I think we're going to talk about it there.
Thanks, Rudramurthy. So now we are more talking about the readiness, workforce, and AI. I would like to start with my segment two question, which is like related to AI versus workplace readiness. So I would ask Dr. Lakshmikant Mukherjee to take up this question and share your insights.
Okay.
So we all agree, Lakshmikant, that in the today's generation, AI is completely as a need of the hour. It is flow of work, right? But at the same time, most of our leaders also say that human soft skills like empathy, communication, and like Dia mentioned, adaptability are the also a real career future proofers in the current era. Taking this into the consideration, if AI is taking care of the hard and technical drafts, what are the specific human superpowers that you are desperately looking for a freshers today?
Yeah. So, first of all, thank you so much to the entire team of Scaleme and for this opportunity. And yeah, thank you so much for joining this, live telecast also. So, it's truly a privilege to be a part of, leadership panel, especially given the kind of meaningful and forward-looking conversation Skillamy has been curating through platform like the Capability Forum. So if we look at our daily lives today, right, AI is already deeply integrated, right? So we are consuming AI generated reels, watching AI created educational videos, using AI for communication, learning, and even decision making also. So across platform there is an explosion of AI led content. So some of this extremely powerful and genuinely insightful, but at the same time some of it is also misleading or factually incorrect, yet presented very convincingly. So at the scale, and the scale is significant also. So today, nearly 1 billion people are using generative AI tools globally. Almost 89% of employees have used AI at work, many on a regular basis, and around 88% of organization are already using AI in at least one function like, Copilot and then ChatGPT, Claude, then Excel.ai, Grammarly, etc. So clearly adoption is not the challenge anymore, right? So the real challenge is that the value is not scaling at the same pace as usage. So in fact, only about 5 to 6% of organizations are, seeing meaningful business impact, and a large percentage of AI initiatives still, fail to deliver expected ROI. Now, let me cut through the, noise and share what the evidence, tells us. So if AI takes care of, so I'm talking about your question, that is what human superpower are, means we are looking for in, freshers today. So if AI takes care of the routine, the technical and the drafts, so these are the few human superpowers that, separate the memorable fresher from forgettable ones. So the first is the ability to think critically, so not just to prompt but to question, right? The World Economic Forum ranks analytical thinking as the most sought after skill. So that is 69% of employers says it's non-negotiable. So this is the first criteria. Why? Because AI can generate answers. Freshers must judge which answers are actually useful, accurate, and safe. So this is the first thing. Second, very important, the ability to work with AI, not beneath it. So this means knowing when to trust the output and when to overwrite it. So this is very important, and by the end of 2026, the employer will expect fresher to act as quality control filters, so verifying, not just consuming what AI produces. Third, very important is the learning agility. The shelf life of technical skills is shrinking. The WAF projects that 39% of core skill will change by 2030. So it's very alarming. So freshers who treat learning as a daily habit, not an one-time event, will outlast those who don't. Fourth, which is again critical, is emotional intelligence. So LinkedIn data shows that 89% of hiring managers prioritize soft skill as much as technical and functional qualifications. So AI can draft an email, it cannot navigate a difficult stakeholder conversation, then inspiring a team, tailor a message to a room full of skeptics. So that is uniquely human. And finally, very important is creative thinking. So 77% of employers, expect greater demand of this skill. So AI optimizes, obviously, it remixes, but it does not imagine new possibilities. Freshers who combine AI fluency with original thought will drive innovation, not just efficiency. So clearly, these are the 4 5 things which will drive efficiency along with effectiveness. One obviously is the critical thinking and judgment. Second is human in the loop decision making. Third is learning agility and adaptability. Fourth is emotional intelligence and right communication. Fifth, finally, is the creative thinking.
Yeah. Thanks, Lakshmikant. I would still agree that human intervention is required, and there are so many forums also say that human is also a workflow in the AI work that we do. Having said that, one of the
Right.
point that I liked is on EI, emotional intelligence, right? For example, as a fresher, how do I show this EI skill that I have? Because AI is something, if until unless I demonstrate, probably manage or probably understand and communicate, we will not be able to evaluate the emotional intelligence. But in this kind of an era that we are in, how a fresher can show that I'm good at emotional intelligence and you can hire me.
Okay, so in the first question you talked about superpowers, right?
Yes.
So superpowers are meaningless, if they don't show up in action. So here is how freshers they have them. So one obviously should have them like structured problem framing. So they take a messy, ambiguous problem and break it down before jumping into a solution, right? So they
Mm-hmm.
ask what is the real issue, what data matters, where does AI help, and where must I step in. So that clarity, not just speed, is what employers notice today. Next, they never treat AI output as gospel. So they cross check. They say that the AI suggested this, but here is what I verified independently. So they ask the tough question: where did this data come from? So what is missing? And that is how you build trust in an AI augmented world. Third, very important is learning agility. So they show, not tell. So they say, I don't know which this tool 6 weeks ago, but I learned it, applied it to the live project, and here is the result. So certification help, but again, real world application speaks louder. Next, very important is like real world exposure. So they walk in and with more than a degree. So internship, live project, simulations, right? So they demonstrate they have already applied their skills outside the classroom. So employers, increasingly see this is as baseline expectation, not a kind of bonus. Communication with the workplace clarity is very important. So if they explain complex ideas simply, they tailor their message to the audience, and then whether that's a technical team, a business leader, or a client, the fresher who can translate AI generated insight into business language are the ones who get noticed. And finally, they ask the hardest question, should we do this at all? Not just can we do this faster? So they recognize when automation crosses a line and when human oversight is, non-negotiable. So that discernment is what, makes them fully ready. So if I have to, close it in just few seconds, so to answer today's question, that fresher are workplace ready when they bring critical thinking, human judgment, adaptability, emotional intelligence, and creativity to the table. And they prove it by framing problems, verifying output, learning fast, communicating clearly, and exercising, discernment. The data tells us that 69% of employers demand analytical thinking. 77% want more creativity. 89% of managers value, soft skill as much as hard skills. So the fresher who demonstrate these, not just claim them, will thrive. The rest will simply automate.
Yeah. Thanks, Lakshmi, for bringing this onto the table. Any of the panel member would like to add any statements or any suggestions or insights on how can freshers show them that they have their skills, which we are talking about, either adaptability or probably emotional intelligence, IQ, or something like this.
See, it's all about, Shrikant, my perspective is how do you look at AI? The lens with which you look at AI is basically when you look at AI as your assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and not as your somebody who you are carried away by what AI is saying. Okay, so it's more of how you use it to your advantage. That is the crux. Okay, whether it's a fresher or a existing or a employee or of any age group, is how you look at an AI and how you utilize. That's the thing which you have to look into. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the and my perspective to this is, see, if you see, there's a lot of myth in the overall in the corporate world that AI is going to replace multiple jobs and by XYZ and all. See, AI is not going to replace you. Okay,
Absolutely.
is somebody who knows AI is going to replace you, definitely, right? So now how you utilize the AI to your advantage, that is the crux. Okay, like some of the tasks, while it becomes redundant because of some AI coming into your picture, at the same time there is a 2x amount of jobs that are going to create because of which AI is coming. Okay, so you require a very different skill set of employees who are coming, and here is the area where freshers need to not only know the AI, but you have to use in the newly carved out roles or newly carved out tasks, that how they can match
Yeah.
and make themselves ready for the corporate world. So here
Yeah.
is the crux actually. This is, and we are going through this transition now. It just started
Beautiful.
the journey, and maybe in the next couple of years, you will see a huge transition that will happen.
Yeah. Sounds great,
See, today,
British.
basically, yeah.
Yeah, very well
So,
articulated
Deepika,
actually, very
Yes.
simply said. Yeah. So, which is, I completely agree with Mr. Prithvish Pathak. Very well articulated. That is the reality in the corporate world as of now. So there are a lot of all the confusions and this one going on saying that, or not confusion, some kind of agitation in terms of like what exactly is going to happen and then whether should we really know AI and stuff like that. But then very well articulated.
Right. So,
So,
since
so,
yes,
Srikant,
Lakshmi.
one line. So, see, using AI is easy, obviously, but thinking with AI is the real capability, what I
Yeah,
feel.
even I agree to that. Thinking with what you have and what resources you have, what you can do to it to make it impactful, I think that's the key to everything.
Yeah. At times, I also feel that we are also taken over by the AI or the automation that is happening. I still remember those days where, I used to remember a lot of phone numbers, on the
Yeah.
mouth, in the mind, and then, we have this mobile phones came into the picture. Even it is same like calculations. I recently visited. One of the grocery store nearby my home, and I was saying that I've purchased 1,000 rupees, 1,025 is one of the cost of one of the item, and there is also one more which is like 73 rupees or something like this. So I said, this is what I've, purchased, and take the bill. And for a second, he was taking up the calculator and, using the calculator to, calculate. Then I said, boss, this is a very simple math. It is like 78, 1078. So you can directly, 98, you can directly take it up. But still, he is, habituated to use calculator. In the
Yeah.
same way, I think the flow of AI will definitely be there. We have to be using it forcefully. Also, I think we will be using it. So I'll move on to the next segment because Prithvish, as you've already addressed the segment, addressed on the few things like AI flow and everything. And one of the critical factor that I would also say is more in terms of communication and ownership. Now, fault, like what Dia said, fault is not the way that I'm going to use. Obviously, the reason why I used it to link it to the segment three, communication plays a major role there. Gone are those days where we used to say bad feedback, right? We are started using as an improvement areas, right?
Yeah.
So that is something which is as a communication flow. And at the same time, because of the automation, there is a leakages in the ownership that is happening around. So I and you are coming from a different manufacture, industry from manufacturing and pharmaceutical, and I can still see that there is a huge amount of complex processes, manpower, managers. There are also some cases where managers complain about, this guy is very poor in the communication. He does not lack he lacks in the ownership. So looking at these lenses, what is the biggest communication mistakes that drives managers crazy, and what does true ownership actually look in a 22 years or a fresh graduate that we are hiring?
In my experience, what I can say that the biggest communication mistake that drives managers today and that drives them crazy is basically when they present just an information, but they don't demonstrate thinking behind it. Means they don't come with a solution mindset when they are speaking to a manager.
Mm-hmm.
So they will say that this is an issue, okay, but they don't say that what they believe is causing it, or what are the options they have considered, or what is their recommendation. So some thought has not gone behind it, and straight away only sharing their information is, I think, that drives the managers crazy, because then the managers are completely surrounded by problems and issues. Okay, which
Mm-hmm.
definitely any manager would not like. They would always like their team members to come with a solution mindset. Uh, yes, what I say is that AI can help you generate answers, but it can't replace your point of view. So the perspective is that they should come with their point of view and the solutions. At the same time, managers don't expect you to know everything, but they definitely would expect you to think before you speak. A. Uh,
Coming to your next part, which you asked about, what is true ownership looks like for a 22 years old just pass out graduate. uh, it's basically when they uh, they come with a lot of clarity of thought. They show up with a clarity of thought. There's a proactiveness in their behavior. They take up the responsibility, they take up accountability. These are some of the basic, I would say, the habits or behaviors which anyone would expect from a young guy who is coming out of the college, right? If these qualities are there in that person, other things can be always trained and skilled. uh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so these are some of the traits which are very very important to for any role at any level. This is very critical that these are some of the qualities they are demonstrating: proactiveness, accountability, ownership, taking the responsibility, having a clarity of thought, and coming with a solution mindset. And this thing will make them stand out from the rest of the crowd, right? uh, that is what I can say.
Yeah. Thanks, Ritvish. Any of the panel member would like to add their thoughts to this? What does true
Yeah,
ownership look like? Yes, Lakshmikant.
yes, you can. See, the biggest communication mistake is lack of clarity and context, which actually Prithvish already have covered. So people explain what they did, but not why it matters. So that actually frustrates manager. So true ownership in a young professional is not about doing task; it about owning the outcome. So a quick example: one fresher actually I worked with didn't just complete a report using AI. They came back and said that here is what I found, and here is what may not be accurate. The person knows, and here is what I recommend we do. That shift from execution to thinking was, outstanding. So that's ownership is something that we should, look at.
Mm-hmm. Thanks,
Yeah,
Lakshmi.
Yeah, I just want
even
to chime
even
in for a moment, right? So, with the freshers or with the new age workers, what we are finding is how they're culturally redefining the ownership,
Mm,
right? So,
mm.
what we have been thinking is something that is ownership, or like what Prithvish just listed out, right? So, accountability, ownership, and all of that. The way they own it up is going to be okay. Do I need to sit at my desk and work for this long? Is that ownership, or I'm available always for your work,
Yeah,
or what Lakshmi just mentioned about, are you oriented about the outcome of it? All right. So
yeah.
this change in the cultural leaning of ownership is something that they're defining right now. So that's a very important cultural change that we are working towards, and they're driving it. In fact, they're driving the it's actually bottom up that we are adapting to change that. So that's a good sign in fact is what I would say.
So I can share
Well,
one of the graduates about which I had hired about. He was a training coordinator, and the person came and he was basically coordinating a workshop across the country. And somehow we had to deliver a workshop at the plant, at the manufacturing site, which was pretty different. The content was pretty different than the your what we do for other teams, corporate office, or your commercial team. So a lot of customization was required. Now a trainer who is going to deliver was supposed to do that, and at the something happened to the family and in his own personal family, and at the last moment the trainer said that I won't be able to do it, and that came in the very last moment. Now another trainer was assigned the responsibility. Now, since this guy was a fresh graduate, he just came out as a training coordinator. He took the ownership. He actually coordinated all the stakeholders of the plant heads, quality heads. He understood the cases. He tailored the entire information. He took what are the different use cases there. Then he shared this information with the new trainer, which was to replace. And on the right away, the very morning, the entire customized the content and it was made ready before 9 o'clock, and then they delivered. Now this is a typical example of a true ownership, right? And then they informed me some when it all rolled out. So when I came into the picture, I knew what is happening. By the time it was everything was set. All the solutions are already made, everything. Now, had it been a different Gen Z guy maybe coming, he could have easily used an AI and given a prompt,
Yeah,
if I am
yeah.
doing this module for a
Absolutely.
manufacturing site, customize it for me. So that is one way approach, and this is one another approach where he did it a
Correct.
real good job. So I can
Yeah.
share, this is a one example where it truly demonstrated an ownership.
Thanks, Prithvish. I think thanks for sharing this real story as per in your experience. So I will dive into the next segment. I would ask Rudramurthy to take this up. We are majorly talking about attention span and execution. We live in an era where all this information has to be just in a 30 seconds of timeline. It's not even only the younger generation. At times, I also see even the small kids are getting really distracted. I have my brother's daughter who is like 5 years old. What she does is she look at the reel, and within a second, 2 to 3 minutes, 2 to 3 seconds of a time, she just scrolls up and say that okay, this is not good, and she moves to the another. So the span of looking at the work, or probably in terms of execution, it is very less. So from your experience and view, is the struggle with sustained focus a real behavioral change driven by social media, or it is just that we are having the legacy corporate systems which are very slow and boring for them? So, what is your take on this, Rudramurthy?
Sure. So, but I'm not going to fall into the old school trap by saying, oh, kids these days just fall through shorts and reels, right? So I'm not
Yeah,
going to do that. All right, but let me look at it this way, right? You're right in a way. Your question had the answer, in fact, right? So short span, and so the problem isn't that it's a lack of attention, but it is the tolerance for friction or the noise
mm-hmm.
detection. Okay, so the
Mm.
quick noise detection, and also they're very opinionated. Okay, just like what you spoke about your niece, she said, I don't like it. Right. So we never said I don't like it at age 5 or 6, also growing up, or
Absolutely.
probably when you're 20, 22nd, 22-year-old graduate, right? So you don't say I don't like it, but they have these opinions in them. So that's the first thing. Now, because of this, they have a very high creative space, and also a focus which is going to be very specific on something. Now you give them something which is very linear, very rigid, and possibly one size fits all, which is our corporate systems. It's not going to probably help them. So that's where the challenge comes. Now, to answer it in a straightforward way, it's both, but the nature of work has changed. As I said, the freshers are great at noise detection because they've grown up with technology driving them, right? So their efficiency is being technology. They were born with mobiles, network, and everything, which we probably took some time to get into. So that's one of the major reasons. Now they had instant search options. They didn't have to remember a lot like what you spoke about on the phone. So we are changing from what you know to what you do. So that shift is what is the biggest challenge at this point of time. How do we combat that? How do we align this? Two things that we tried, is just in time and in your workflow. These are the two options where you onboard them itself right now. I'm talking about onboarding. I'm not talking about the training itself. The onboarding itself, you take, you don't, they don't want to sit in in a 8 hour induction. They would want to walk around the floor, walk around the office, and see where is the actual work happening. So that's a good thing. So that's the focus that we are shifting towards, Srikant.
Yeah. Thanks. Very well said, Rudramurthy. So we are into the final segment, which is again one of the most important thing that we look out in the fresher is, or in the organization, is what industry really wants, right? So I would ask Padma Shinoy to take this up because she is from the talent acquisition team. This team has magic wands in their hands, and whenever there is a crunch in the organization to hire a professional, and this magic wand people holding this will do some miracles and get the people hired. So my question is more in terms of if you have, let's assume if you have this magic wand always in your hand, and fundamentally we were talking about, at times the curriculum is not redesigned, or what we are expecting is something different, and what they are learning in the college is something which is different. So fundamentally, if you are given a chance to redesign the entire higher education for the upcoming students, and looking at the corporate sector to close this gap, what is the single biggest change that you would like to make so that they are trained there and they're directly deployed here onto the projects? So,
Okay.
yes,
I
Padma.
wish I wish I had. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Kirami for giving this opportunity. And so I wish I have this magic wand all the time, because the kind of targets that they're giving a week or, I mean, quarter on quarter for us to hire is becoming challenging day by day, thanks to AI again. So everywhere, everybody wants AI. So that's how the thing is. So coming to your question, yes, if I had a magic wand and could fundamentally redesign higher education tomorrow, the single biggest change I would make would be to shift from a degree-centric model to a competency-centric model.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would like to. So because basically, if you look at it, today students spend years acquiring the knowledge, but employers are increasingly looking for evidence of skills, adaptability, and impact. So every
Mm-hmm.
student should graduate with a portfolio of real world projects. It's not like we have seen everybody are just acquiring the knowledge by being there, attending their sessions in colleges, etc. But then, what exactly the employers are looking forward to? I think students should come prepared when they're stepping out of the campus. So I feel that every student should graduate with a portfolio of real world projects, internships, industry collaborations, and especially problem solving experience, and not just a transcript kind of a thing. So that's what I'll look forward to. And
Yeah, thanks, Padma. I think most of the organization are also going to those tier one, tier two, or some of the colleges as
yes.
per their capacity and capabilities. They're also going into the campuses. They're also giving some the train the trainer, train the professor training program, or probably they're also giving some modules to the people. They're giving some workflows and everything. Do you still feel that even those kind of models are failing these days?
So if they go 100%, then it should not be Shrikant. But I don't think. See, the thing is like it should be both ends, right? So we see, one is like providing an opportunity. So we should also need to look at how the students are uh, utilizing those kind of an opportunities, right? With the current world, it's like if one set of people may be doing it, but majority of the people are not. So they just want, see, what we have noticed and what I have experienced is like everybody wants a job, okay?
Okay.
Whether they're capable of executing that particular job, I don't. So that has to be that is the responsibility that is required to be taken up by the institutions, right? So where the institutions are, they and everywhere they look at only, okay, I have to get the percentages. That's what happens in the grade 10, right? Even my son is in grade 10. So what happens is like everybody are like, so you're so 10th means like they'll put a lot of pressure saying that you have to score 90 plus and above. 90 plus, otherwise it's not going to be, you will not be getting into your engineering, or you'll not have it. They make it sound as if it's like there is no future
Tomorrow.
at all. Definitely it's not like that, right? So we have to see. I believe in one thing, that we have to be I mean, what exactly we are going to gain out of. First, we need to understand what exactly and understand and learn life skills, right? Only then, especially when it comes to, I believe in learning a lot. Okay, so from day one, I keep talking about learning. Even my team members also, I keep telling them the same thing. Learn every day. You need to learn. I mean, every day is like a learning. See, it's been 26 years for me with Infosys alone, but still I'm learning every day. I look forward to learn something. So that is what is lacking, is what I feel. So I think we need to come out of that, and we need to train them in such a way that it's like everybody picks up the. I mean, no, this capability doesn't come up as is, right. So they should be having some kind of a learning agility. So when I'm talking about learning agility, it's like the ability to continuously learn, learn, and relearn. Only then it's going to work. Not else.
Rightly said, Padma. I think learning is a key to success. I think that is something
Is
which,
that, yeah,
yeah, that we
absolutely.
all believe coming from the L&T and HR fraternity. So, looking at the time, and we are very close to the top of the hour. So, I would say that before we close the session, I would like to do a quick, fast, rapid fire question round. So, the rules are like this. I will point one leader and ask one question, one simple question. I would ask you to answer in one sentence or few words, not definitely essays, because I would like to also give a chance to the to the participants to ask questions if they have. So here it goes. I would go with Rudramurthy. So the question is like one skill every fresher must learn.
One skill every fresher must learn. I would say, I would say critical auditing with AI, right? So probably verification of the AI, vetting the AI response. That's one skill that you have to learn. How do you do that? Do you want to start with a prompt and then verify the prompt, or verify the same response given by one tool with another tool? How do you build this skill? That does two things to them. One, it builds a critical insight to them. B, it also gives them how to leverage technology, the AI itself, to validate within themselves. So these are the two things, that I would say one skill that everyone has to build.
Thanks, Rudramurthy. So I would go to Dia. One habit every fresher should stop.
I think one of the most important thing what I see with freshers very close to me is that waiting to be told what to do. See, in the years before, it used to be like, we used to guide them, we used to give them direction and all of that. But now we're in a world where in which everything is easy to learn just in time. You just need to use your own sense and identify problems that you've not solved and bring those ideas to the table. That's what I feel.
And that's interesting, Dia. So next one, I would ask Padma to take this up. Quick choice, degree or capability?
I knew that would be for me only. Yeah, I would like to go with capability. So, because degree may open the door, but capability determines how far you go. So, I believe in
Yeah.
capability. Yeah.
I think there is also a saying like capability is the new degree in this era.
Yeah,
Most of
correct.
those leaders go with this kind of a tagline. So,
Yes.
uh, another question I would ask Prithvish Pathik to take this up: curiosity or intelligence? Because you are more discussing on the emotional intelligence, I would ask you to give your insights: curiosity or intelligence?
Obviously, I would say curiosity.
Any specific reason, Prithvish?
Because only when you're curious, you learn. And
Yeah.
only when you learn, you become intelligent.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and finally, one one advice, Lakshmikant, that you would like to give to the fresher who are
So,
also part of this call.
so I would say that don't ask AI to think for you, which is very important. Use it to think with you. So stay curious, stay human, and never stop asking why.
Yeah, I think that is, I really had, glance at, what you said is related to most of us. I think at times we go into the trap that AI should think about us, or we try to generally use AI for something else which is not even relevant, or they don't not even relevant. So we are already on top of the hour. I would give a pause here, and if any of the the participants on the call have some questions, we can our panel members are here to address. I see couple of questions coming in. I think one is already addressed by Dia. Second one is okay. Okay, I don't think so. We have any questions. Okay, so and before I give it back to Mr. Patil, I would like to give a vote of thanks to all the panel members. A very insightful discussion in terms of this workforce planning, and how uh, freshers can evolve themselves in the current corporate structures, and what are those skill set that we need to be learning. So today conversation makes one thing clear: is AI may accelerate knowledge, but career success still depends on communication, ownership, adaptability, execution, and continuous learning. So it's not organization don't just hire skills, but they hire potentials. I think most of the organizations are also turning into the skill-based organizations, focusing more on the skills, capabilities. So the challenge is converting that potential into the capability. So these are my quick takeaways from the session, and thank you so much once again. Appreciate your time, taking time and being part of this wonderful discussion. And on that note, I would also give thanks to Swaroop and his team and the SkillMe, the entire crew here to bring this panel together. I'm sure there is a lot of work that is being this show. Thank you so much for the opportunity as well, Swaroop. Over to you, Mr. Patil.
Thank you, Mr. Shrikant, and definitely it was a very good discussion. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, all of you, and adding to the L&D community, which we always say. So thank you very much, and wish to continue working with you guys in the upcoming panel discussions in the coming months. So thank you very much, and I thank all the participants who have joined in the session today and also on LinkedIn Live. So thank you very much for joining in, and I'm sure there would be a lot of takeaways, and especially since this is specifically for freshers, I think this discussion will be very valuable for them, and and also it will help them prepare better for the upcoming, when they move to job readiness and look out for something, where they want to work with some of the other organizations. So thank you very much, so everybody, and have a good day. So I'll
Yeah,
stop the recording now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks so
Bye.
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sarup, for
Thank
organizing this. Thanks so
thank you,
much.
Thank
Swaroop.
you. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.